in 1968, when I graduated, another guy graduated with he did a mapping PhD. His name was Mickey Macmillan. And he came to me and he said he'd been approached by an American company called King's Resources, who wanted to employ some consultants in South Africa to go into Namibia to look at various deposits, including a porphyry copper called the Hyde, which is in the south of Namibia.
Yes.
And he was up to supervising a drilling program, doing the mapping and all the field stuff. In fact, he had worked nearby and had discovered what turned out to be Rosh Pinah, the lead zinc mine. Mickey.
Wow.
Yeah, he discovered that in his PhD. He did a quarter-degree sheet mapping, and he found the mineralization. The area was out under option to a Namibian, and who had funded Mickey's PhD. At least in substantial part of it. I'm not sure if he funded every bit of it, but Macmillan took it to him, and that developed into Rosh Pinah. And he came to me and said he wasn't going to do this for someone else a second time. He wanted to go on his own, and he needed a geochemist. He needed a lab. They were going to do a whole lot of drilling. So I built a lab, and he went off into the field and started employing a few people to help him. One of whom subsequently became head of department at Rhodes University. But they did a lot of drilling, and for over a year there was a big program going there. And through that year, I kept my job at UCT. I built the lab. I got people in to do the analyses, one of whom was Stuart Moyle, who joined us after we'd been in existence for about 9 months or something like that. And
but you hadn't formed the company at this time?
Yeah, we had formed a company. And in the first year of doing work for King's Resources and other people, we got sent off on various missions, and one of the missions came back with some results that went through the lab, and we'd stumbled on a decent amount of lead and a certain amount of zinc and even a minor amount of copper. And when I left for the Smithsonian, that was very much just a sample or two that we didn't really understand. It turned out eventually to be the Black Mountain deposit at Aggenys. And
my wife and I have been underground there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's a massive sulfide, beautiful deposit, and it's still going strong. So when I came back from the Smithsonian, a whole lot of drilling had been done at Aggenys, which was one of the main farms, and it was getting big. And
who had it at this time?
Well, we had got a contact in Cape Town whose name was Graaf. He was a member of the Graaf family that was politically very well connected to the United Party and owns hundreds of acres of land up north of Cape Town. And he owned various farms, fruit farms, and he dabbled in minerals. And he had taken an option out over the Aggenys farm. But then he had war injuries, and he took an overdose of medicine. Everyone thinks accidentally, but anyway, he lapsed into a coma and died. And at a critical period. And it was at a period when Phelps Dodge was looking at Black Mountain hard, and it went into the estate. And we had a letter from Graaf telling us that we personally would get 10% of any revenue that came out of what he got for this, and that he would spend half the money that he got from himself funding our exploration efforts to find more stuff. But with him being dead, that disappeared. And Phelps Dodge bought the mineral rights, or the rights to the farm from the estate for 1.7 million. Mickey and I got 170,000. They did honour the 10% letter.
That was good of them.
This is rand, but rands in those days were nearly worth $1, and it was a heck of a lot of money. I mean, I bought a combi with 3,000 rand. That a Volkswagen combi at that time cost 3,000 rand. So Mickey bought a Mercedes, but I didn't want a Mercedes. I wanted a combi.